Come take a tour of my garden. I'll show you 15 medicinal herbs that we're growing. I wish more people knew how easily they could take care of themselves and their families just by growing a few simple plants in their backyard. I'm not talking about complicated herbal formulas or rare plants you can't pronounce. I mean common, low-maintenance herbs that almost grow themselves. Plants that can support your immune system, soothe your nerves, help heal wounds, and do so much more. And I'm going to do more than show you the herbs. I'll tell you a bit about each one's benefits, and one of these herbs you've probably walked past before without realizing its powerful medicine. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll share one shade plant you've probably never thought of as an herb or an edible plant, but it makes a mouth-watering soup, and it's got some surprising therapeutic properties too. When I first started studying herbalism as a clinical herbalist over a decade ago, what amazed me wasn't just how powerful herbs are, but how accessible they are too. Herbs are resilient, they thrive without pesticides, some reseed themselves, and of course, they've been helping us heal for thousands of years. With drug prices rising and supply chains breaking down, wouldn't it be amazing to have your own medicine cabinet just a few steps away? And by the way, one of the last herbs I'll show you grows so fast and so big that you'll reduce your runs to the drugstore for cold and flu medicine. You'll see what I mean when we get there. And beyond that, it just feels good to reconnect with the earth, and it's empowering to learn skills that help us live with sovereignty and less reliant on these systems. So let's dive in. And stick around because one of the herbs is my go-to for immune support, and it's probably growing wild in your neighborhood right now. Once you see what it looks like growing, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere. Come take a tour of my garden. I'll show you 15 medicinal herbs that we're growing. The first stop on our tour is Echinacea. At a plant nursery, you may see it labeled as purple coneflower. It has bright pink, purple daisy-like flowers with spiky orange centers. Some of Echinacea's properties are that it's an immunostimulant, helping your immune system increase the production and activity of certain white blood cells. It's also antimicrobial, one of nature's antibiotics, helping fight off bacteria and viruses, and vulnerary, helping to heal wounds. The roots and the aerial parts, or these are the above ground parts like the flowers and the stems, those are what's used in herbalism. It's known for shortening the duration of colds and reducing the severity of symptoms, but it does have to be taken at the first sign that something's brewing. So when you start to feel that throat tingle, it's time to pull out your Echinacea. It's not a tonic herb that should be taken daily. It's more for the onset of acute issues. Topical preparations of the fresh juice or the dried root can be applied to the skin to help with issues like cuts, burns, eczema, and overall skin inflammation. It's a super easy perennial that comes back each year. It self-seeds, and the roots can be harvested in the fall. It thrives in full sun, is drought tolerant once established, and the pollinators love it. I mostly make a tincture of the roots, and some folks also dry the leaves for teas. A good quality tincture makes your tongue tingle and go numb. That's how you know it's potent. But wait till you see the next herb. It's one you probably have in your kitchen right now, but it also works as a powerful antioxidant and antibacterial. Next up is basil. Yes, the same one you might grow right now for pesto or to sprinkle on pasta or add to your homemade pizza. We do all those things. But beyond being delicious, basil also has some great medicinal uses. When scientists tested basil leaf extract, they found it had strong antioxidant effects, meaning it helps to protect your cells from damage caused by stress and pollution. Basil has antibacterial properties, meaning it can help fight off harmful bacteria, including both gram-positive and gram-negative types. These are the two main categories of bacteria. That's a pretty big deal for a humble kitchen herb. And it's a carminative, meaning it helps to ease digestive discomfort like gas and bloating. Try sipping on basil tea after a meal to feel how soothing it can be. Basil is an annual, so you have to replant it every year, but there's hundreds of seeds that it produces after it flowers. It grows fast, loves warm, sunny weather, and is super easy to grow in pots, raised beds, or right in the ground. Just keep pinching the flower buds so it stays leafy and productive. And here's a fun little side note. Its cousin, holy basil or Tulsi, is the one that's actually an adaptogen and used for stress support. So we have it growing in our hydroponic garden inside. Check out this video on the benefits of Tulsi or holy basil. Most people know catnip because of how it makes their cats blissful and euphoric, but for humans, it's actually working in an opposite way. It's calming, soothing, great for relaxing the body. The part we use is the leaves and the flowers, which contain natural oils like nepilactone, carvacrol, and thymol. These give catnip its minty smell and its relaxing effects. In herbalism, catnip is a gentle nervine and sedative, meaning it helps to quiet our anxious minds, ease that tension. It's also antispasmodic, relaxing smooth muscle cramps, and whether they're in your belly or in your body. And traditionally, people use catnip tea to help with colicky babies, upset stomachs, and restless sleep, especially in your kids. It's also used to soothe fevers, headaches, and even toothaches. It's one of the staple herbs that I use in our son's herbal steam inhalation blends during peak allergy season. Modern research has found catnip to be antibacterial, and it really shows promise as a natural insect repellent. It can even keep mosquitoes away better than some synthetic sprays. It's perennial, so it'll come back every year. These herbs just keep getting better and better, and the one I'll show you later could change the way you think about sadness and emotional stress. Up next is one of my all-time favorites for first aid, yarrow. You might see it growing wild along roadsides or in sunny fields. It has feathery, fern-like leaves and clusters of tiny white flowers. Yarrow is one of the best herbs to stop bleeding, which is why it's been called soldier's woundwort and nosebleed plant. For centuries, it's both styptic, meaning it stops bleeding, and antiseptic, helping to prevent infections and wounds. But it's more than just a first aid herb. Yarrow is also diaphoretic, helping you sweat when you have a fever, gently lowering your body temperature, and it's a gentle digestive bitter herb, supporting your stomach and liver, helping you process food and detoxify more efficiently. The plant contains lots of active compounds like flavonoids, sesquiterpene lactones, and essential oils like camphor and cineol. These give it its anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial actions, and modern studies show yarrow may even help regulate blood pressure and calm inflammation in the body's blood vessels. Yarrow is another perennial that spreads by rhizomes, so it'll fill an area if you let it. It's drought tolerant, loves full sun. You'll want to harvest the flowering tops in the summer when it's in full bloom. Next up is one of the most underrated herbs in our garden, garlic chives. You'll know it by its flat grass-like leaves and its white flowers that bloom later in the season. It smells a little like garlic, but it's milder and sweeter. Garlic chives are packed with sulfur compounds, especially allicin, which is one of the same immune-supportive antibacterial compounds found in garlic. These help your body fight off bacteria. They may also support healthy cholesterol and blood pressure levels. They're also rich in flavonoids and saponins, plant chemicals that have antioxidant effects, meaning they help protect your cells from oxidative damage, reducing wear and tear on your tissues over time. Traditionally used as a digestive stimulant, gently warming up your digestion, helping prevent bloating and sluggishness. In Chinese medicine, they're also used as a general body tonic, especially for the kidneys and the lower back. Garlic chives are also perennials, and they're one of the easiest herbs to grow. They'll come back year after year. They don't mind poor soil or dry spells. Just give them some full sun, cut them back regularly to keep them tender and tasty, and try making a compound butter with them. So good. Snip the fresh leaves and add them to scrambled eggs or stir-fried veggies. But later on, there's an herb that grows huge, I'm talking taller than me, and is one of the best plants I know for immune and respiratory health. Let's talk about comfrey, sometimes called nipbone or woundwort. This plant has big, bristly leaves and pale purple, bell-shaped flowers, and it thrives in almost any soil. Medicinally, comfrey is famous for its vulnerary action, meaning it helps to heal tissues, especially wounds, bruises, and sprains. It also works on arthritis and sore muscles. Its secret weapon, or secret compound, is called allantoin, which helps to stimulate new cell growth and speed tissue repair. Herbalists have used comfrey poultices for thousands of years to help set broken bones, stop bleeding, reduce inflammation. You have to be careful when working with comfrey though. It's not for deep wounds or punctures because it heals the top layers of the skin faster than the bottom, which could trap bacteria and debris inside of wounds. I've done this to a cut on my son's toe and sure enough, had to reopen it. Not fun. Growing comfrey is super easy. It's a hardy perennial that spreads aggressively through its roots. Once it's planted, it's hard to get rid of or move because of how deep the roots penetrate into the ground. Harvest the leaves before they flower, cut them back a few times a year. I infuse comfrey leaves in an oil and turn it into a homemade first aid salve. Comfrey does have some pyrazidine alkaloids though that can harm the liver if it's taken internally. So most herbalists don't recommend Comfrey internally, especially if you have liver damage. Use Comfrey externally on the skin as a hair rinse, never as a tea or a tincture internally. And Comfrey is just the start with making oils. There are a few more herbs coming up that make excellent topical and culinary oil infusions. Peppermint's one of those herbs that most of us already know from tea, candy, toothpaste, but it's so much more than just flavor. In herbalism, peppermint is a classic carminative, so helping with digestion, gas, cramping, bloating. It's also an antispasmodic, so relaxing those tight, spasming muscles, especially in the gut. The active compound that gives peppermint its strong smell and flavor is menthol. And it's this compound that provides both a cooling sensation on the skin and a warming, stimulating effect in the body. Peppermint's dual nature, warming on the inside, cooling on the outside, makes it great for things like digestive discomfort, headaches, and colds. People have used peppermint for centuries, from ancient Greece to China to the Cherokee herbalists, who valued it for calming the nerves and easing stomach upset on journeys. In the garden, peppermint spreads fast. I keep mine in a grow bag to stop it from taking over. You can harvest the leaves throughout the summer, dry them for tea, or use them fresh in cooking, teas, even as a part of your homemade cleaning products for their antimicrobial power. I will even chop them up and include them in salads. And it's another addition to our steam inhalation blends for its decongestant properties. Lemon balm is one of those herbs that really lives up to its name. It smells like fresh lemons. It instantly lifts your mood. In herbalism, lemon balm is mostly known as a calming nervine, helping to soothe anxiety, ease digestive upset linked to stress, and promote a restful night's sleep. Its uplifting scent and gentle nature have made it a favorite for kids and adults alike for a long time. Lemon balm extract has been shown to improve calmness and reduce feelings of stress in human studies. Taken as a tea or tincture, lemon balm helps to ease insomnia, especially when combined with valerian root or passion flower. It's another carminative and mild antispasmodic, so helping with indigestion, nausea, gas, stomach cramping. Lemon balm creams are clinically proven to speed healing of cold sores from the herpes simplex virus. I love it as a sun tea to drink throughout the week to help remain centered during stressful seasons. And I can't help but rub the leaves between my fingers and smell it for a fragrant mood boost. Lemon balm does so well at gently lifting the melancholy over time, but stay tuned for my hands down favorite herb for grief, depression, and navigating those really tough emotions. But one quick safety note about lemon balm: people with hypothyroidism or those on thyroid medications, you have to consult your practitioner before using lemon balm regularly. It can mildly inhibit thyroid function. Struggling with a health issue that just won't budge? You want a holistic path. You're even thinking about becoming an herbalist, but you need real guidance. Let's talk. Book a free call with me and we'll figure out your next right step, whether it's a private consultation or one of my signature programs like Herbal Medicine for the Soul. So if you are ready to feel better and live on purpose, click the link and schedule your free call today. Let's get you aligned and moving forward. Bee balm, also called wild bergamot or sweet leaf, is a vibrant North American native with striking red, pink, or purple flowers and a bright minty scent. Indigenous people, including the Anishinaabe, Lakota, and Muskogee, traditionally used bee balm for a wide range of healing properties. As a tea for digestive issues and colic, a steam for clearing respiratory congestion, and a topical poultice for burns, fevers, and infections. Some communities even considered it a sacred plant. All plants are sacred, calling it sweet leaf or using it to calm infants and support fevers and lung infections. Bee balm is rich in a variety of volatile oils, which are antimicrobial to different degrees, and we can use bee balm to help the body release heat during fevers, break up mucus, and soothe spasms in the lungs or digestive tract. It's also a gentle nervine, so making it a nice ally for anxiety and restlessness. In the garden, bee balm is another perennial that thrives in sunny spots with well-drained soil. It spreads slowly by rhizomes, filling your yard with color while feeding the bees, the hummingbirds, and the butterflies. I love putting the fresh flowers, again, on salads because it has this nice floral and slight spiciness. I bet it would make a really delicious infused honey too. Let me know in the comments if you decide to do that. Harvest in full bloom before midday because that's when the essential oils or the volatile oils are the strongest. And a powdery mildew has a tendency to grow on the leaves. This is actually the first year I'm not seeing it on our plants. There is more space between the plants than usual, so maybe that's helping. They are getting crowded up by the black-eyed Susans though. Anyway, I think the mildew is harmless, but avoid harvesting those affected areas. Rosemary is a Mediterranean shrub famous for its aromatic, needle-like leaves and pale blue flowers. Herbalists treasure this as a circulatory stimulant, boosting blood flow to the brain, helping with mental clarity, focus, and memory. Its warming, invigorating nature also makes it a favorite for easing sluggish digestion, soothing muscle aches, and helping the body fight off colds and flu. It also has tons of volatile oils which contribute to its antioxidant, antimicrobial, and antiseptic properties. So you can do so much more with rosemary than add it to food. You can make teas and experience its nervine and cognitive and digestive effects. Use it in oils, both for your hair and your skin. Make infused oils and butters for cooking, and in herbal steams for respiratory health. You can tell I love my steams. It's so versatile. It's a perennial in warm climates, loving full sun and well-drained sandy soil, so think Mediterranean conditions. In colder zones, it thrives in pots that can be brought indoors for the winter. Violet is so underrated. These flowers are so delicate but mighty, and the leaves are medicinal too. Violet is a cooling demulcent, so soothing irritated tissues, calming inflammation, supporting the lymphatic system. It's also a gentle expectorant, helping to ease coughs, sore throats, and dry respiratory passages. Indigenous people, including the Cherokee and Muskogee, used violet leaves and the flowers as a remedy for coughs, colds, and skin irritations. In Western herbalism, violet has a long history for soothing fevers, moistening dry lungs, and helping to clear lymphatic congestion. Things like swollen glands, cystic breasts, and even chronic skin conditions like eczema. The fresh leaves and flowers are mild tasting, packed with nutrients like vitamins A and C, making them an easy addition to spring salads, syrups, or infusions. Yet another perennial quietly spreading in shady, moist spots, so you can harvest the leaves and the flowers in the spring and in early summer when they're at their most tender and vibrant. One of my favorite ways to use violet is in a glycerite. It's delicious, taken by itself or added to infusions. If you've been watching our videos, then you know my love for mimosa runs deep. Albizia julibrissin, so deep that I transplanted a tree into our yard and can't wait for it to flower, probably next year. I won't have to trespass on people's property, knock on their doors, or climb trees to harvest the fairy, feathery-like blossoms anymore. Mimosa is often called the tree of collective happiness, and for a good reason. Its soft, pink, powder puff flowers and delicate fern-like leaves give it a joyful presence in the garden, and its medicinal qualities have been used for centuries to lift the spirit and ease heavy hearts. In herbalism, we use the young bark and the flowers. Mimosa is a calming nervine and uplifting for mood support. It's traditionally used for grief, anxiety, sadness, emotional shock, depression. It's one of my favorite herbs to turn to when emotions feel stuck or just when life hands you a heartbreak that feels impossible to carry alone. In Chinese medicine, mimosa bark is used for calming the mind, supporting sleep, and easing irritability, while the flowers are thought to open the heart and bring joy. Modern research shows that mimosa's key compounds, quercitrin, serotonin-like alkaloids, and saponins may help balance the nervous system and act as natural antidepressants. You can use mimosa in teas, tinctures, decoctions to gently lift the mood and calm that restlessness and support sleep without dulling the senses. I prefer to tincture it fresh, and I find the young bark to be a little bit more stimulating for me, and overall I prefer to microdose it. I only need about 5 drops of my tincture, so check out my full video on harvesting and making a mimosa tincture right here. Solomon seal is a graceful, slow-growing woodland plant whose roots are very beneficial for strengthening the joints, the ligaments, the connective tissue, which is our most abundant type of tissue in our bodies. We have some small transplants from someone when we first moved here about 10 years ago, and now we have this lovely Solomon seal patch. I love seeing Solomon Seal's pretty white teardrop flowers in early spring. They're actually my favorite flower in our garden. And we can reach for Solomon Seal to restore balance to tissues that are too tight, even too loose, dry, or inflamed. It's a classic remedy for joint pain, tendinitis, sprains, repetitive strain injuries, and mucous membrane irritation. In Chinese medicine, Solomon Seal is a yin tonic, so nourishing dryness and replenishing fluids in the body. It's used to support the lungs, the kidneys, the digestive tract, easing dry coughs and soothing irritated mucosa. The root is rich in steroidal saponins, mucilage, and allantoin, giving it both anti-inflammatory and vulnerary or wound healing properties. And now for the plant I promised at the start, the one you probably have walked past, maybe even it's growing in your shade garden without realizing it can help soothe inflammation and that it's edible. Hostas! I made a delicious soup one spring that featured young hosta shoots. OMG. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Most people know hostas just as a classic, shade-loving gardening plant, famous for its big, bold leaves and elegant flowers that hummingbirds love to get the nectar from. But what few realize is that this plant has a secret life beyond garden borders. In some parts of Asia, especially in Japan and Korea, young hosta shoots are considered a delicacy. Mild, tender, full of flavor, perfect for soups and stir-fries. Even more surprising, traditional Chinese medicine has used hosta for centuries to calm inflammation and soothe respiratory tissues. And the science backs it up. Modern research shows that hosta contains antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that may help reduce oxidative stress, ease chronic inflammations. With young hosta, you might just be looking at a surprise addition to your next gourmet meal. You can mix it and prepare it with other greens that you would saute in butter or ghee. And I love sauteed greens for breakfast into like a nice breakfast bowl topped with scrambled eggs, tomatoes, roasted potatoes, black beans. Yeah, just wanted to give you some ideas. And last, but definitely not least, a plant so vigorous I cut it back every year and it still grows back taller than me, elder. You probably know this plant, but seriously, do you know how easily it grows? Our elder is 8-9 feet tall. We do a big chop in the fall, then it grows right back up to 8 feet tall. It's taking over this part of our garden and I love it. Elder is a classic herbal ally, beloved for centuries with a wide range of uses. From its fragrant, creamy white flowers to its deep purple-black berries, elder offers powerful support for the immune system and beyond. Elder flowers are famous for helping the body fight off colds and flu. When you take a hot elder tea, it promotes sweating to help break a fever. Taken cool, it helps to relieve allergies and sinus congestion. They're also a gentle nervine, easing stress and tension. Elderberries, meanwhile, are packed with antioxidants and antiviral compounds. Herbalists and scientists alike recognize their ability to help prevent or shorten the duration of viral infections, especially when taken, again, at the first signs of illness. Elderberry syrups and teas are popular during cold and flu season and are generally safe for consumption by children too when properly prepared. Externally, I bet you didn't know this, but elder leaves and the bark can be infused in oil and are a classic remedy for bruises, sprains, swelling, while the flowers were once made into elderflower water for soothing the skin. Now, the unripe berries, the bark, the leaves, the seeds, they all contain cyanogenic glycosides, which can cause nausea if consumed raw. So always cook your berries before use. That's why you see it in syrup form so much. And stick to dried flowers and properly prepared extracts. And there you have it, 15 powerful medicinal plants that are so low maintenance that even if you consider yourself not to have a green thumb or are a lazy gardener like me, you can care for these plants. They literally do all the work. You might be wondering, how do I actually turn these into medicine? Tea, so the easiest way, steep fresh or dry leaves in hot water. Lemon balm, mint, rosemary, those make a fantastic calming blend. Infused oils, so you can soak the herbs like comfrey and the elder leaves, and olive oil to make a first aid salve. Just remember what I said about comfrey, no deep wounds or cuts. And here's a tutorial on making your own infused oils. And lastly, tinctures. Let the herbs soak in alcohol for a few weeks or vinegar or glycerin. Solomon seal, elderberry, mimosa, echinacea root will all make excellent tinctures. Here's a video showing how to make your own tinctures step by step. And here's a quick reminder, not every herb is safe for every person. If you're pregnant, nursing, taking medications, or dealing with chronic health issues, please consult a professional herbalist like me or your doctor. And always double check your plant ID. This is super important. I once saw someone online promoting poke berries as elderberries, and that is dangerous and really toxic. Foraging and growing plants is very powerful and empowering, but it definitely comes with responsibility. You don't need to be an expert to start to grow your own herbal medicine. You just need a sunny patch of dirt, a little curiosity, maybe even a windowsill. We started our first garden literally in our Brooklyn apartment on our windowsill. So which of these plants do you already have? Let us know in the comments. Or which one are you most excited to grow? Tell me in the comments below. If this was helpful, give it a like and a share with a friend who's trying to build their own backyard medicine cabinet. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for spending time in the garden with me. I'll see you next time.